do not necessarily reflect those of station staff, management, and advertisers.
All right, what's going on, everybody? A very happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Pushing the limits. Could be watching on the Occupy Democrats Network, the Washington Press Network. Of course, we're everywhere on TikTok, Twitch, my personal YouTube page, at PTL Radio Show. I don't want to get right into it with you because we got a lot to talk about today. As we pretty much do every day on this show, right? Nothing different. I want to start the show with some positive news because there's not a lot of it going around with everything that's happening in this country. But the ceasefire deal has been reached, and over 30 hostages are expected to be released by Hamas, which is a great thing. Now, of course, Donald Trump is going to take every opportunity to take credit for something that Joe Biden did months ago. This was Joe Biden's same framework in the deal that he put together and proposed back in May. This is exactly what we're going to be facing here the next 4 years. Anything positive happens, Donald Trump is going to take credit for it, and anything negative that happens, he's going to blame the last administration, blame Democrats. I congratulate Joe Biden. I congratulate the administration. This is a good thing to get these hostages released, and I'm very happy to be hearing that good news. So all this is going on today. We've had a few people that have been getting questioned that are apparently most likely going to be in Donald Trump's administration. So during a confirmation hearing today, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General nominee, continued to deflect, not answering questions about the election. Every single time a quote was given and some of the ridiculous things that either a Donald Trump would say or a Kash Patel has said, her response would always be, I'm not familiar with that statement, even though they were reading it to her verbatim. Pam Bondi is a complete idiot. She is an imbecile. And perhaps one of the most serious moments today of them all, in my personal opinion, is when Pam Bondi was asked who won the 2020 election. Keep in mind, this is most likely going to be our next attorney general. We're not talking about an assemblywoman or even a mayor for that matter, or a governor. We're talking about most likely the next attorney general. Listen to this exchange when she's asked who won the 2020 election. Yeah. So they just move on there. It is extremely disturbing. That's what these MAGA morons do. These dangerous imbeciles with no backbone. They say, well, Joe Biden's the president, but they don't answer a direct question, which is who won the 2020 election. Why is this important? Because if this moron, and that's exactly who Pam Bondi is, she's a moron with no backbone, and she's only there for one listener, and that's Donald Trump. She doesn't want to get Donald Trump upset. This is why this is so dangerous. If she's willing to embarrass herself like she did today on a national stage, and she's willing to not answer the most basic of questions, which is who won the 2020 election, and she's willing to pander to Donald Trump at this stage, what is she going to be willing to do when Donald Trump takes office and she becomes the next attorney general? That's why this is so dangerous. Question after question after question today, she dodged. Oh, I'm not familiar with that statement. Who won the 2020 election? Oh, well, Joe Biden's the president. That wasn't the question. It's the same thing Pete Hegseth did. Not answering direct questions and deflecting only because they're afraid of the orange orangutan, because he is their leader. Do we understand how dangerous this is? How dangerous these people are? The cowards that are going to be in Donald Trump's administration. Do we all understand how unqualified these people are? The imbeciles that they are? The lack of resume, qualifications? I want you to think about this for a moment, and I'm going to repeat it because I think this is really important. The woman who's probably going to be the next Attorney General won't admit that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election, which means she is going to be wearing the Donald Trump knee pads for the next 4 years, and she is going to be, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, to everything he asked her to do. Do we understand how dangerous this is? No, Donald Trump did not win the 2020 election, and the earth is not flat. That's really what we're talking about here. She refused to answer the most basic of questions. When she was asked about January 6ers, specifically those who attacked police officers, that's not an opinion. It's all on video. There are people behind bars right now that physically assaulted police officers, some with their own batons. She specifically asked, would you define those people as patriots and hostages? And simply put, she refused to answer the question, and her response was, I'm not familiar with that statement. Ladies and gentlemen, do we understand how dangerous this is? She's the kind of person that will pander for the next 4 years to Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans, and she's the person who will defend any statements that Donald Trump makes. And if she's not defending it, she'll say she's not familiar with the statement, even though the statements are being read verbatim. This is very, very dangerous. And I've explained to you why. Some Republican, why are we going back to 2020? Because you have the most important attorney in the land that is an election denier. Now, here's what makes it even more dangerous. I know there are some morons in Congress and idiots like the Lauren Boeberts of the world and the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world, dumb as a doornail. And I understand that those people might actually think that Donald Trump won. They're the dumbest that America has to offer. I'm not talking about them right now. They're dangerous, but I'm not talking about them right now. Pam Bondi knows, I guarantee you she knows, that Donald Trump lost a free and fair election in 2020. She knows it, just like many of the Republicans. She knows. But Pam Bondi refuses to answer that question because she doesn't want to get Donald Trump upset. So if she becomes the Attorney General, and let's just say, hypothetically speaking, Donald Trump breaks the law, you think she's going to go after Donald Trump? Of course not. Donald Trump says, hey, I want you to go after Adam Schiff. I want you to. Now, she said today, oh, no, I don't have a hit list. I don't have an enemy list. We know that Donald Trump does, and we know that she will do anything and everything for Donald Trump. That's why this woman is so dangerous. That's why Pete Hegseth is so dangerous. That's why so many people that are going to be working in Donald Trump's administration are so dangerous, because they kiss the ring, and all they care about is that they don't upset the petulant child orange orangutan. That's what it is. That's what Pam Bondi's testimony was today in Congress. She refused to answer any direct questions if it made Donald Trump look bad. She refused to comment on any of Donald Trump's actual quotes and statements, and her pathetic excuse was time and time again, I'm not familiar with that statement. Well, Miss Bondi, here's exactly what he said. Oh, but I'm not familiar with that statement. They're imbeciles. Pam Bondi is an imbecile with no backbone. She's the female version of Kevin McCarthy, maybe even worse. Complete imbecile. Speaking of imbeciles, Nancy Mace. During a telework hearing, let me repeat, during a telework hearing today, listen to what Nancy Mace asked the witness during the testimony earlier today. This was tops on her agenda. Have a listen to this.
Can you, a candidate to be chair of the Democrat Party, define what a woman is for me today?
Madam, or
Can you define what a woman is?
Oh, yes.
What is a woman?
You're going to ask me to define what a woman
Yes, I am right now.
Well, I'm
You
talking,
just said you could.
Yes.
Explain it to me.
I'm talking to a woman right now, distinguished woman.
What is a
elected
woman?
Representative.
What is a woman?
I think you're kind of denigrating the purpose of this.
What is it? You can't define what a woman is. All right. In an effort to
married
be fair,
to a woman.
in an
I
effort
have
to be
two
fair and
daughters who are
unbiased,
women.
in an effort to be fair and unbiased, can you define what a man is for me?
I have two sons that are men. Yes.
I have a
can.
theory. Can you?
This was supposed to be serious questioning. And Nancy Mace and so many in the MAGA Republican Party want to ask people to define what a man is, define what a woman is. This is embarrassing. Nancy Mace is an embarrassment. And Pam Bondi is an embarrassment. And this clip is so important. It's so important. She won't answer the basic of questions, which is who won the 2020 election?
Who won the 2020 presidential election?
Joe Biden is the president of the United States.
Ms. Bondi, you know that there is a difference between acknowledging it and, I can say that Donald Trump won the 2024 election. I may not like it, but I can say it. You cannot say who won the 2020 presidential election. Okay. It's disturbing that you can't give voice to that fact.
It's extremely disturbing. She's going to be the next attorney general. And she can't say whether Donald Trump lost the 2020 election or not. She is an election denier. At the same time, she's appeasing Donald Trump. And that's what's going to happen over the course of the next 4 years. Does anybody not find this troubling? This woman's going to be the next attorney general. What an embarrassment. Think of the people that are going to be in Donald Trump's administration. The Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s, the Tulsi Gabbards, the Pam Bondis. I mean, I guess Matt Gaetz would have been worse. I guess. It is absurd. It's embarrassing that we don't have more qualified, decent people that are going to be working in Donald Trump's administration. But then again, these are people that kiss the ring because they want a job and they understand that Donald Trump's the boss, almost like the mob boss mentality, right? I feel like I'm watching an episode of The Sopranos, and Tony Soprano's Tony Soprano's the president, and everybody else underneath him are going to be in his administration, and they might talk behind his back, but in front of the king, oh no, we'll do whatever you want, king. That's Pam Bondi. That's Tulsi Gabbard. That's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. That's Stephen Miller. What are we doing? What are we doing with these unqualified imbeciles? That's what they are. They're all imbeciles. That's why Democrats say threats on our democracy. You have an attorney general, going to be an attorney general, who literally cannot say whether Donald Trump won or lost the 2020 election. It's absurd. And there are people continuing to politicize the fires in California. Now, I don't really care what O'Leary says. I understand that he's a billionaire and he's got billions and billions and billions of dollars. I don't care how much money people have. Doesn't impress me. I don't care. And he's on CNN yesterday and he's appearing to suggest conditional aid, which, by the way, House Speaker Mike Johnson's already talked about conditional aid. As long as they promise to get rid of Gavin Newsom and Bass. Have a listen to this.
Peace. Kevin, you're up.
New idea. All that recovery aid that Gavin Newsom and Mayor Bass are asking from the federal government, tie it to a package where they both get whacked because they're so incompetent and it's time to get rid of them. I think the Californian taxpayer and certainly every American taxpayer would love that idea.
Just
you heard it here first.
Clarify for you, politically whacked is what you mean.
I mean, yes, remove their services. Get rid of them.
Okay.
The old-fashioned way. It's a whackatola.
Gotcha.
So stupid. I don't care how much money O'Leary has. I don't care how much money Gavin Newsom has. I don't care how much money Vivek Ramaswamy has. They're all idiots. They're all bad people. Vivek Ramaswamy made his money, for the most part, selling pharmaceutical drugs that didn't work to large corporations. I don't care how much money Elon Musk made. Takes over X, Twitter at the time, which was worth $44 billion, bought. Now it's worth about $10 billion. What a brilliant businessman. I don't care how much money Elon Musk has. And, Donald Trump, who filed bankruptcy 6 times, and there's still people out there that'll say he's this wonderful businessman. The most money he's ever made in his life is since he took office. That's why. Because it's helped his brand. I mean, the attacks on Gavin Newsom, O'Leary's comments are, quite frankly, embarrassing. And Gavin Newsom yesterday was asked about Donald Trump's attack, and he answered the question appropriately as follows.
This is serious. And, you know, I get it. They want to take us. I get it. I'm not naive. I get the California derangement syndrome. I've been living with that for years and years. New scum. You know, the same 7th grade. I remember the guy on Baltimore Avenue that called me new scum. I was in 7th grade. I can handle that. We'll leave that aside. I understand what they're trying to do. I want to work with them. It's not about me. It's about people that we both represent. He represents and I represent. And I'm honored and proud to represent these folks.
And he's responding again to the name calling and the attacks on social media, the attacks by the elected president who's going to be in office here in about a week, less than a week. Here's what he wants Donald Trump to do, and Donald Trump has yet to do it. Have a listen to this.
Honored and proud to represent these folks. And I desperately plead with them. Come out here, help us, and we will help you. You'll be elevated, Mr. President. At the end of the day, you'll be the one we all will go to and say, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for living up to the values of this country. Thank you for having the backs of these families and these kids. I met a kid the other day, literally was driving away. Their house was on fire in the Palisades. And the young daughter said, Daddy, did you get my bunny? And he said, I didn't get your bunny. I got 4 kids. Mm-hmm. That's what I hope that President of the United States, President Trump, has an opportunity to meet with that family.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Where's Donald Trump? How come he hasn't flown out to California? He's more concerned about just attacking Gavin Newsom and Democrats. And he's cared more about getting a couple $100,000 per person that'll pray with Donald Trump on Inauguration Day. It's despicable. It's disgusting. Attack Gavin Newsom, as he would call him. And then a huge difference. There's plenty of differences between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. But I think Gavin Newsom eloquently described it here in this soundbite.
I'm more interested from you and how damaging it is when you have somebody with that type of a platform who is next week going to be the president of the United States is injecting inaccurate information about the worst wildfires in American history.
Let me answer that by thanking President of the United States, Joe Biden, who within 36 hours supported a major disaster declaration by text. Within a few minutes later, committed 100. He could have just committed 75%. 90, he said 100% of all the costs for disaster recovery. That took the time to meet with first responders, was here on the ground. I want to thank President Joe Biden. And then I want to offer that as an example to the incoming president of presidential leadership, a president of the United States of America, being here for the American citizen. He didn't ask me, is this a conservative part of California, Altadena? Did they vote for me? What, he didn't ask for his staff to look at the last election and see how many were for Kamala or how many were for Donald Trump. He said, pal, you got it. We have their backs. Express empathy. I had firefighters that went up to him and they had tears in his eyes after meeting Joe Biden, who was consoling them. I think that's an example for the incoming president.
It is, but Donald Trump won't follow on that lead because he doesn't care about anybody else but himself. One of Joe Biden's best qualities is showing empathy for others when he talks about loss, meeting with the firefighters, meeting with the families. In New Orleans, praying with the families of those who lost loved ones during that attack, while Donald Trump was on Truth Social blaming it on the open border, which is absurd and wasn't true. That is one of the many defining differences between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, the presidents, the human beings, or lack thereof when it comes to the orange orangutan. It's absurd. And then finally, Gavin Newsom once again talking about those who are politicizing this very moment.
What they need is empathy, care, compassion, understanding. They need support, not rhetoric, not strings attached. I mean, I met families who lost not only their home, but their business and their church, their sense of self, place, community. They had a Zoom the other night, and everyone broke down crying because all they wanted to do was see the faces of one another. Mm-hmm. And yet that's the face of leadership in the United States of America, conditioning aid to the American people in need, politicizing this tragic moment.
Was Joe Biden conditioning aid? Were Democrats conditioning aid during these hurricanes? No, because Joe Biden didn't care whether it was a Republican or a Democrat, the governor. In fact, it was Ron DeSantis that thanked Joe Biden. Or how about Barack Obama back in the day? Do you remember how much crap Chris Christie took when Barack Obama came to New Jersey and shook the governor's hand? Oh my God, I can't believe, because that's what they care more about than a president doing the right thing, caring about people, showing empathy. Don't shake the hand of one of those Demorats. That's who these Republicans are. Compared to the Democrats, on average, for the most part, correct me if I'm wrong, the Democrats are talking about loss of life. The Democrats are talking about loss of your home. What can we do to help you? What can we do to help you rebuild? What do you need? What can we do right now? They could be celebrities in California, or they could be Democrats in Washington, D.C. talking about what do we need to do to help? Let's do everything we can to support the people. And what are so many of these Republicans doing, whether they be MAGA Republicans in Washington, D.C., or imbeciles who call themselves journalists? We are the media now on X. What are they doing? They're tweeting and calling him Gavin Newsom. They're going after the mayor of L.A. All of a sudden, they're water experts and they know exactly how fires work. Same thing with, COVID. They were all infectious disease experts. Same thing with transgenders. Apparently, they know everything about transgenderism, if that's even a word. They're imbeciles. They're all idiots. These are not serious people. They have no idea what they're talking about. They have no solutions. They have concepts of a plan. Just like their orange orangutan leader, the liable sexual abusing adjudicated rapist, has concepts of a healthcare plan. They'll bitch and complain about Obamacare. No replacement plan. They're not serious lawmakers, while Donald Trump has had 9 years to come up with a replacement plan. You think Donald Trump knows what to do about California? He talks about raking floors. You think Donald Trump has any idea what he's talking about? Like so many of these MAGA buffoons on social media that think they're experts when it comes to fires, they have no idea what they're talking about. And all Gavin Newsom wants to do is try to be there and help the people that are suffering right now. You want to point fingers? Fine. There'll be a time for that. Not now. Not in the hours and the days and the weeks after the biggest fire in the history of California. Now is not the time to play politics, just like after 9/11. In the hours and days after 9/11, was everybody just trying to score political points? No. That week, I think we all could agree, we came together as a country. And even though I despised George W. Bush, and I thought he was an awful president, when he took the megaphone at the site of where the Twin Towers collapsed, and he said, "We hear you, the world hears you," it was a good moment for the country. It's a good moment for the country when Joe Biden is hugging those in New Orleans who lost loved ones, showing empathy for others, being there for the families. It's a good moment for the country when Joe Biden is meeting with first responders. Some of those were first responders crying, hugging them, being there for them. That's what a president should do. That's what a leader should do, not attack people 24/7 and divide us. That's not what a leader does. Do we understand the differences there? What a leader should or shouldn't do? Because in the most important moments of a presidency, it's how a leader responds. After the New Orleans attack, he was there for the governor. Doesn't care if the governor's Republican or Democrat. Republican praised Joe Biden, the governor. He was there. And while MAGA Republicans said, why isn't he there right now? Because he waited several days. And then after, the dust settled, so to speak, for lack of a better term, he showed up. And he was there for the families. He prayed with the families because that's what a leader does. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is seen holding a Bible upside down and selling them made in China for $60. What did Donald Trump do in California? Nothing. To this day, nothing. He hasn't spoken about the victims in length. He hasn't shown any empathy. He's done nothing except play golf and plan out his inauguration, making sure that those flags are not half-staffed after Jimmy Carter passed away. That's what Donald Trump is doing, attacking Gavin Newsom on social media, blaming Democrats for the fires with zero solutions. What has Joe Biden done? As you heard from Gavin Newsom, everything he could, 100%, declaring it a state of emergency, offering everything and anything he can. and these idiots on social media and these morons like Jesse Waters. Oh, well, wow, a first payment of $770. Look at all the money he's sending to Ukraine. When these imbeciles are so stupid, they don't understand, number one, that's only the first phase. It's immediate help, so you have gas money and food. And number two, there's more money coming. And number three, Democrats have been trying to up the ante, and it's Republicans that keep voting against these bills that Democrats propose that would give people more money during these types of events. But if you watch Fox News, they'll blame it on Joe Biden, where it couldn't have been further from the truth. All you got to do is look it up if you don't believe me. These are not serious people. They play political games. And I am not saying the Democrats are perfect, but if you look at what has transpired since these fires, Joe Biden has done everything and anything he can as the president of the United States. He's been there emotionally for the families. He's met with first responders. He's talking to Gavin Newsom 12 times a day. Gavin Newsom right now is doing everything he can. If you want a Monday morning quarterback, now's not the time. Let's do it in a few weeks. Let's do it in a few months. If you want to start to point fingers. But these morons that think they're firefighter experts, they know how fires started. You want to get a helicopter up there when it's 100-mile-per-hour winds? Go ahead, give that a try. Let's see how that works, buddy. They're so stupid. They blame DEI hires. You want to blame black people for the fires? Well, it doesn't work when they blamed a migrant in New Orleans. Let's blame black people for the fires in California. And then when that doesn't work, let's just go back to Gavin Newsom. These are not serious people. Nancy Mace, again, asking people what's a man and what's a woman. These are not serious people. Pam Bondi, not willing to say that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election in fear of what the orange orangutan might think about her. These are not serious people. Pete Hegseth not owning anything that he did in the past, only bringing up Jesus and God. A guy that has a tattoo on his chest that says 100% white. Just like Donald Trump's administration. Pete Hegseth tattoo is very similar to the people that are hanging out at Mar-a-Lago. 100% white. I've had it. It's been a very rough few weeks for this country. With the terrorist attack in New Orleans, the Tesla explosion here in Las Vegas, these catastrophic fires in California. What the hell are Republicans in office doing to help besides play the blame game? What are they doing? What type of country are we living in when the next attorney general most likely cannot say with a straight face that people who attacked police officers on January 6th are not hostages? No, they're not patriots. Her response, I'm not familiar with those statements. Meaning, I'm not going to answer that question in fear of what Donald Trump might think about me, and I don't want to upset the orange orangutan. These people are not serious. Disagree? Think Pam Bondi's the right person for the job? You think the attacks on Gavin Newsom, calling him names, are helping? Is this DEI hires? Is that what this is? Or maybe we should just focus on helping people. Maybe. Maybe we should just think about the people that don't have homes. People that have lost loved ones. Maybe we should think about them first. How are we going to get them back on their feet? Maybe we should think about the victims. Maybe that should be number one. Not if you're a MAGA Republican. Not if you're Donald Trump. The first thing you do is attack Governor Newsom. What has Donald Trump done to help people in California? What has Donald Trump done to be there for the families of the victims in New Orleans? When there's a hurricane, he shows up and he tosses out paper towels. When there's a train derailment, he buys people McDonald's for a photo op. There's a difference between showing up and then showing up and making a difference. Joe Biden showed up. He met with the families. He met with the first responders. That means something. Ask them. Doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or Democrat. It means something. When the president shows up and he shows empathy, that means something. It's called showing leadership. We're in trouble. I'm not going to sit here and paint roses and smiles for the next 4 years. We are in trouble. we have people that are going to do and say everything, slaves to Donald Trump, because they have no backbone. But here's the difference. They have a choice. Slaves didn't have a choice. They were owned. These people that are working in Donald Trump's administration, many of them, they have a choice. They're choosing to kiss the ring. They're choosing to lie before Donald Trump even gets back into office with a straight face in front of the American people. That's the difference. Number to call is 702-221-7283. And again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the program is 702-221-7283. This portion of the program is brought to you by Jackson's Bar and Grill, the official gaming bar of the PTL radio show, where they have great promotions, including the Pass the Puck contest, where you can earn up to $500 during a Vegas Golden Knights game. Please check them out. Jackson's Bar and Grill, located at Flamingo and Jones. I am opening up the phone line. Where am I? You think Pam Bondi is the right person for the job? Do you? Are you okay with the next attorney general being an election denier? And if you don't think she's an election denier, then at a minimum, she's lying for the next incoming president of the United States. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with somebody by the name of Pete Hegseth, who couldn't even run a company of 100 people, being the Secretary of Defense? Are you okay with that? Someone who has the judgment of cheating with a Fox News executive and having a baby with her while he's still married to his second wife, cheated on his first wife with his second wife, cheated on his second wife with his third wife. Is that the kind of person you want to have the nuke codes? Not me. All right, number to call, 702-221-7283. And again, that number, if you want to be a part of the program. I've been told that I will not be taking a break. I'm going to go right to the phone calls here. And again, that number to call again is 702-221-7283. I want to know, do you think Pam Bondi is the right person for the job? Do you think Tulsi Gabbard's the right person for the job? The Russian asset herself? Do you think Pete Hegseth is the right person for the job? The guy who has a tattoo that says 100% white? I'm wondering if a black man had a tattoo that said 100% black. I wonder how Republicans would feel about that if that was somebody that was going to be in Joe Biden's administration. Just throwing that out there. Oh, they would go nuts. They would go nuts. 702-221-7283, the number to call. Let's go to Nancy. Nancy is first up on PTL. Hey, Nancy, what's going on?
Hi, Brian.
Hey, what's up?
It's a sad state of affairs that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
I watched President Biden make the announcement of the ceasefire and the hostage release.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't 5 minutes, and the orange turd was taking credit for it.
Oh, yeah, and even worse, Nancy, how stupid are these MAGA Republicans, these people on social media? Oh, they did this because of Donald Trump. They're afraid of Donald Trump. When this was the same framework that Joe Biden put together and proposed way back in May. These people have no idea what Donald Trump has done. Nothing when it comes to this issue. Nothing. And he's going to take credit for it. And then anything bad that happens in his administration, he's going to blame Democrats for. It's insane, these people. They're insane.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do because there's not going to be any guardrails.
Well, that's what's really, I agree with you. And that's what's really troubling is that at least in Donald Trump's first administration, he had few, but some people that were willing to stand up to him and say, no, Mr. President, you shouldn't do that. No, Mr. President, I wouldn't do that. He has basically nobody in his administration. Everyone's a yes, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why I call them slaves. Only they have a choice. Right? It's insanity. I mean, did you hear Pam Bondi's testimony today? What an embarrassment she is. Not answering questions. Oh, I'm not familiar with that statement. When literally a quote is read to her, she won't answer it. You have Nancy Mace today during a telework hearing asking the guy, what is a man and what is a woman? These are not serious people. That's why this country's in trouble. These are not serious people.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, I haven't owned a gun in several years, and my husband and I are talking about getting one for here at the house.
Well, listen,
because
I understand.
it's that bad.
Well, listen, you have the right to own a gun to defend yourself, and I would never take that away from anybody. Another lie, by the way, that by Republicans, the Democrats want to take all your guns away. Again, another lie, another scare tactic by them, my dear. I wish you the best. Be safe. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Dave. Dave is next up on PTL. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Brian, how you doing this today? Besides how everybody else is doing,
hanging in.
I got a couple questions and a couple points I want to bring up. So, since the Republicans want to take away, the aid from California, you had that homegirl on last week that I basically thought she had no brains. That was, had the knee pads of Donald Trump and saying about North Carolina. So, does that mean they're going to put aid to North Carolina then?
Of course they won't. Of course they won't, because when there's a Republican running the show, they'll play politics, and then when there's a Democrat running the show, Donald Trump is a perfect example of this, right? He's a perfect example of what you are talking about. He plays politics with people's lives. This is not a game, as you know. People are dying. People only have the clothes that are on their back, and they want to withhold aid and put stipulations in there. And the only reason why Mike Johnson is doing this is because Donald Trump told him to. That's why.
And speaking of Mike Johnson, here's just my personal opinion. If we have to raise the flags for his inauguration, then I think for every hour the flag is up, when Donald Trump does pass away, he loses a day that the flag is at half-mast. So if it's 10 hours or 10 days, he doesn't have the flag at half-mast.
Well, let me tell you something. The flag should be down all the way during Donald Trump's inauguration. If he wants the flag at up there, and he wants to change rules that have been in effect for decades and decades and decades. He is such a piece of human garbage, my friend, and he is such an embarrassment. And Pam Bondi is such an embarrassment, and Nancy Mace and all these other not lawmakers. They're noisemakers. They are so embarrassing. Thank you for the call. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Catherine is next. What's up, Catherine?
Hi, I just want to thank you for all you're doing. I mean, you are putting emphasis on the people and giving to the people. I just went out and got to make a contribution, because thank you. You're putting the emphasis where it needs to be, not where these despicable people are putting their hate and vicious lies.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you,
Following
Catherine.
the example of Donald Trump, let's be hateful and go after people and not put and they think, then the idiots think that they're going to put this country together.
Well, let me just start off, Catherine, by saying thank you for doing that. I appreciate you, and I'm sure the victims do as well. Number one. Number two, the finger pointing and criticism, down the road is fine, whatever. But Gavin Newsom is doing. You can see it in his face. He's doing everything he can right now. And the firefighters and those that are risking their lives. How often do you hear these right-wing turds thank the firefighters and the first responders like the way Joe Biden did the other day? Never. You're right. Never.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. They're not thankful. They're just all they can do is hate. They spew hate and
I agree.
And viciousness.
So there's two types. There's two types though, right? There's the ones that spew hate and they're vicious, knowing that they're lying just so they can get engagements on social media and make money. And then there are the people that are so ignorant and stupid and hateful, they just do it because they have hate in their heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But thank you, because some of the people, you had JoJo on there, and she talked about January 6th, and it was so, she just expressed everything that I was thinking.
Yep.
And you have these people that are saying these people are they shouldn't be, they're vicious, they've been
they're despicable.
maligned and everything.
They're despicable.
We all saw it on TV. We all had a TV. We could see what was going on.
You're right, my dear, and thank you for donating to the cause and helping those in California. I really appreciate you for doing that, and I know a lot of other people do as well. It's very simple. Pam Bondi knows what happened on January 6th. We all saw the videos of police officers beaten with their own batons, sprayed with bear spray. She knows that Donald Trump called those people patriots and hostages. She knows that. And she lied today. I'm not familiar with that statement. Even if she never heard Donald Trump say it, she's getting the quote. And she still won't respond to it. Why? Because it's indefensible. And if she said something like, well, I don't agree with that statement, Donald Trump would be giving her a call right after the hearing, and he'd be upset. These people have no backbone, and that's why she's so dangerous, because she only answers to Donald Trump, not the American people. She doesn't answer to our Constitution. She only answers to Donald Trump. To many of these people who talk about the Constitution, Donald Trump is their Constitution. Whatever he says is written law. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Annette. Annette is next up on PTL. Hi, Annette.
Hi, how are you today?
Hey, good. What's on your mind?
Good. So I have a question. Why would the American people be interested in what Kevin O'Leary has to say? We in Canada really don't care what he has to say, and he is a Canadian.
Well,
why would CNN have him on?
Well, I can only speak for myself, and then I'll give you my opinion on why others care. I think he's a complete imbecile. I don't care how much money he has. I think he's a bad guy who wears the Donald Trump knee pads, and I think he says stupid things on CNN on a regular basis. I am very disappointed in CNN for some of the people that they have on their network, not because you can't have Republicans with different views. I actually think that's a good thing. But people like Scott Jennings and O'Leary lie. They go on the air and they are despicable. You have Scott Jennings, who blames DEI hires for the fires in California, have O'Leary playing politics, suggesting that there should be conditioning on aid while people's lives are in jeopardy, only to get rid of Gavin Newsom and Bass. He is not a serious person. I don't care how much money he has. He is a moron. But the reason why CNN has people like that is because they're brass, and I'm talking about it, and if you're talking about their guest, it's good for their ratings, I guess. I don't know. But I think it hurts CNN's credibility. I really do.
Well, I've actually cut off CNN and Fox.
Yeah.
I don't listen. I don't have them on my cable package here in Canada.
Yeah.
Now, I do know that there's 50 senators that sit in the Senate. Now, can you tell me how much, I know they're in the majority, but what does it take for a person like Pete Hegseth, which I watched yesterday and it was appalling? What would it take as far as votes to get him confirmed?
Well, there was one, and that's a really good question. There was one woman yesterday, and I played the audio, that was on the fence. And as soon as Pete Hegseth changed his tune on women serving on the battlefields, she gave him the nod. So there's no chance that he's not going to be confirmed at this point. So there's your answer. There's a few other holdouts that were waiting to see what this woman did. Now that she is going to be confirming Hegseth, it's a done deal. Make no mistake about it. The guy that was alleged and accused of rape, the guy that cheated on his first wife with his second wife, cheated on his second wife with his third wife, cheated on his wife with a Fox executive that he had a baby with while still married. The guy who's got 100% white tattooed on his body. That's the guy that's going to have the nuclear codes. There's only two people in this country that have the nuclear codes. It's the President of the United States and it's the Secretary of Defense. We are in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in trouble. 702-221-7283. Shelly's next. Hey, Shelly, what's going on?
Hey, Brian. Yes, we are in dire straits. I agree. And Miss Pam Bondi knows exactly what she was doing today. Now, I didn't get to watch it, but I saw the snippets and I heard what you said about her not saying who won the 2020 election. And they're all absolutely freaking crazy. Every one of them.
That's certainly one way to put it. I would say they're dangerous. I would say they have no backbone.
Dangerous is a better one.
They're imbeciles. They're ignorant. And they will all wear the Donald Trump knee pads 24/7. I agree with you.
And I want to say something else. I'm sorry before I let you go, but I just wanted to tell you that they are all absolutely nuts. Yesterday, I don't know who it was that said something about Governor Gavin Newsom turning out his wife. If I was Gavin Newsom, I would sue their ass.
Well, I can't speak to the legalities of that. If he does, he does. But we have another Donald Trump Truth Social tweet. And this is so typical of Donald Trump. Obviously, this is great news, right, for the families of hostages that it appears as though are going to be coming home. So what does Donald Trump do? Now that you would think that people would give Joe Biden some credit for this, which he deserves, Donald Trump wants to steal the show. He doesn't like it that he's not in the headlines. So what is he saying? We have a deal for the hostages in the Middle East. They will be released shortly. Thank you. Now, I doubt that is true. I hope it is, but I doubt it's true. And the only reason why Donald Trump is doing this today is to play politics and hates the fact that Joe Biden is getting credit for this ceasefire deal. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you do want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Carrie. Carrie is next up on PTL. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Brian. Couple things, just two things. One thing, I noticed at Jimmy Carter's funeral, memorial service that Trump seems to have no affect at all. He has no empathy. I could see by his facial expressions, he has just zero empathy for anybody. Mm-hmm. Secondly, I want to know what you thought about Senator Durbin's question today when he was questioning Pam Bondi about the 11,780 votes that he called into the Secretary of State for Georgia.
Yep.
Isn't it funny that she didn't seem to know anything about that, and she's an attorney?
This is, okay, so she's lying. Let's just call it for what it is. I mean, it's not she's completely lying when she says she's not familiar with this, she's not familiar with that. I bet she's familiar with everything about, Hunter Biden's laptop. But when it comes to this actual stuff that affects the American people, find me 11,721 votes. Oh, I'm not really familiar with that. Let me tell you something. A fifth grader would be familiar with that. She is lying to the American people. And again, the only reason why she's lying and playing dumb is not because she's dumb. She's playing dumb because she only is concerned about a listener of one. She knows that the orange orangutan, liable sexual abuser and 34-count felon is watching. And she is putting on a performance for him. Not the same performance that Stormy Daniels did for 13 seconds. I'm talking about a verbal performance this morning, theatrics, not answering any. Pete Hegseth did the same thing yesterday. All these others will do the same. They won't answer direct questions. But I got to tell you something. I have a criticism for these politicians, particularly the Democrats. You got to go harder at her. If they don't answer a question, ask it again. If they don't answer the question, say, oh my God, you might be the next attorney general with no evidence of widespread voter fraud when Donald Trump had a chance in court to prove it. And you're telling the American people right now that you won't say that Trump lost the 2020 election? I'm going to give you one more opportunity. Yes or no? Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election? And then if she dodges it again, she even looks worse. I don't think these Democrats are tough enough. I really don't.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you 100%, Brian.
Yeah. I would love to give me 5 minutes with Pam Bondi. Okay. Give me 5 minutes with Pam Bondi to be able to question her. I would destroy her. But unfortunately, we have some Democrats in office today that are weak. I'm not going to sit here and paint a lovely picture. I think some of them did a good job. Okay. I think the Congresswoman from Hawaii did a very good job. Adam Schiff didn't do a great job today. Okay. There are Democrats. Booker, I thought, was horrible today. Horrible. I was so disappointed in Booker. Horrible. And you know what? If they want MAGA Republicans to keep winning, keep doing what you're doing. Keep softening up. It is about time that we have Democrats that are tough, that when they go low, we can go low. It's about time they have Democrats in office that are not going to put up with the crap anymore. I've had it. Nancy Mace, what's a man and what's a woman? If she asked me that question, I would say, I think you're a man. That's the way I would answer that question. I would say, your question is so stupid, you deserve a stupid answer. Nancy, I think you're a man. That's what I would say. That's the way I would answer it. On the record. Nancy, I think you're a man. I think we should check your genitals right now. That's the way I would answer the question. Nancy, I think every time you go into a woman's restroom, somebody should check your genitals because we need to make sure you're a woman. You stupid idiot. You fool, you. All she cares about is engagement and campaign contributions, you fool. Every single time Nancy Mace talks about bathrooms, check her genitals and let's see if she's a man or a woman. Okay, you're good to go now. I don't know whether Nancy Mace is a woman or a man. I really don't. I don't know. I don't want to know, but I'm just saying. Ask me that question. Go ahead. Brian, what's a man and what's a woman? I think you're a man, Nancy. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Who do we have next here? Let's go to Amanda. Amanda, what's up? Hi, Amanda. Are you there? I think we lost Amanda. That's okay. So someone on social media says, no, Brian, you do know. No, I don't. I haven't inspected Nancy Mace's private parts. And by the way, I don't want to. I'd be afraid to even touch her. If you shake her hand, she'll say you assaulted her and she'll wear an arm sling the next day. We don't know if Nancy Mace is a woman or a man. I really don't know. I don't know for sure. Now, I really don't care. But since she cares so much, go ahead and ask me, what's a man and what's a woman? Nancy, I think you're a man. That's just my personal opinion. I think they all call Michelle Obama a man. I think Nancy Mace is a man. 702, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a campaign. Nancy Mace is a man. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you would like to be a part of the conversation. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. And I think we're going to talk to Josh next, right? Let's go to Josh. Hi, Josh, you're up next. What's going on?
Man, you're spewing so much hate. I'm a 9/11 fire veteran. I'm 26 years firefighter. I don't understand what the hell you're talking about. How about your mayor, Karen Bass, who can't answer the question?
Okay, so first of all,
dumps off
let's
water and makes it
no problem. Okay, so first of all,
hang on, let me finish.
Well, hold on a second. You said something. Hold on. No. You said something. Pot him down. I'm happy to let you talk, sir, but you were incorrect. Bass is not my mayor. I don't live in LA. So I'm happy to let you finish, but you're incorrect. She's not my mayor. That's number one. I did not vote for her. That's number two. Now, you say that I'm filled of so much hate. All right. Well, what do you disagree with me with? What have I said today specifically that you disagree with? Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Sir?
Absolutely, specifically, when you keep downing Donald Trump and MAGAs and everything else.
Be specific.
Who was the last president that had no wars under their belt?
Okay, so what did I say that? Okay, so you disagree with my assessment of Donald Trump, the human being, or policy? What did I say about policy today that you disagree with? I need you to be specific. When you say I'm full of hate and I'm doing this, just tell me something. We could have a fair conversation. I would like to. But be specific and tell me something I said that you disagree with. Otherwise, how can I have a conversation with you? Don't generalize, be specific. What did I say that you disagree with? Go ahead.
Absolutely. I'll be very specific.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We were talking about the fires in California.
Yes, sir.
The fires in California. And when I'm done talking, you can talk.
No.
The fires in California.
Cut him down. First of all, you don't tell me what to do, jerk. This is my show. You're not in control of the show. If you want to get your own show, go right ahead. I'm going to let you finish, but you don't tell me what to do. Boy, you're full of hate. You tell another radio host what to do. I'm going to let you finish, sir, but you don't dictate what I do on my show. I want to make that very clear. Go ahead and finish. You don't tell me what to do.
Okay. Yeah.
What's wrong? You have a stutter?
I don't have a stutter.
Okay, then talk. Then finish. And don't have so much hate. Please don't have so much hate, sir. Go ahead. You sound like you have a lot of hate, sir. Go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish. Stop being the victim. Go ahead and finish. You're wasting my time. Finish. Go.
No. Okay. Yeah. Will you let me talk? Can I talk?
Yeah. But you don't tell me what to do. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Here's the deal. I have a great amount of love for our country.
Thank you.
And I have a great amount of love for our firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
And the mayor that you recited earlier in your spiel of hate, which I think was a spiel of hate.
Okay, there you go again. There you go again with your generalizations without being specific.
No,
you're bumbling.
MAGA Republicans hate your whole show. That's all you've been doing. So
wrong.
If I can't use the word
Wrong. I didn't say every Republican that voted for Donald Trump is full of hate. Let me ask you a question. Since you think I'm characterizing Donald Trump wrong, let me ask you a question. When he says that if you're Jewish and you didn't vote for me, you need your head examined, when he attacks women on looks, when he attacks POWs, you say you have respect for certain people. Would you say it's hateful when you say you don't respect a POW because they were captured? Is that hateful, sir? You tell me.
Well, you're general. Again,
I'm not being generalized. I'm giving you a specific statement, and I'm asking you a question. When he said he didn't respect John McCain because he was captured, would you? That's a very specific question in a statement. Would you consider that hate?
Yeah, let me bring a very specific question up.
Nope. You're going to answer my question first. You're dodging. You're dodging this just like Donald Trump dodged the military. I ask you again. When Donald Trump said he didn't respect John McCain because he was captured, would you consider that hate speech? Would you consider that awful and hate speech? Answer the question.
The only reason you have a microphone.
Bottom down again. You won't answer a specific question because you're a coward. The reason why I have a microphone is because I have something called talent and you're an imbecile. I've asked you the same question 4 times. This isn't about me and this isn't about your grievances. Answer the damn question. You started this conversation saying I'm filled with hate. If you can't even define what hate is, then you have zero credibility. I'm now going to ask you for a 5th time. And let's see if you're capable of answering one question. When Donald Trump said he didn't respect John McCain because he was captured, would you define that as hate and disrespect towards all POWs? Yes or no?
You're taking it out of context.
I'm not taking it out of context, you imbecile. You sound like Pam Bondi today. Donald Trump said, I tend to not respect people who were captured. That is a quote that he said. I've played it on the show over and over and over again. Answer the damn question. Answer the question. I've asked it 6 times, you dope. Answer the question.
Let me ask you something.
You don't answer a question by asking a question, you idiot. I'm now asking you for a 7th time. It's yes or no. Answer the damn question, you MAGA buffoon. I'm sorry if that's not enough hate for you, you MAGA imbecile. You want to say other people are hateful, and then when I give you a direct quote from your orange orangutan leader who you clearly voted for, you won't answer the question. This is now the 7th time I've asked it. You don't ask a question until you answer mine. Okay, dummy? Did Donald Trump show hate when he said that he didn't respect John McCain because he was captured? Yes or no? Answer the damn question.
They're going to die because of people like you.
They're going to die because of people like me. What does that have to do with a statement that Donald Trump made about John McCain? I've asked you the same question 8 times, and you refuse to answer the question. Why is that? Does it bother you, sir, that he is a liable sexual abuser? Does it bother you, proven in a courtroom? Does it bother you that 25 women have accused him of sexual assault or rape? Does it bother you that he's a 34-count felon? Does it bother you that he sells Trump Bibles made in China for $3? Does any of that stuff bother you, sir?
False charges have been dismissed, correct?
I'm sorry, what? What did you say?
They're all false charges and have been dismissed.
Wrong.
Correct.
Wrong. I talked about liable sexual abuse. You have no idea what you're talking about. What I said was liable sexual abuse. He was found liable in court for sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll. That was not dismissed. He is officially also a 34-count felon. That was not dismissed either. Why is it, sir, you have no idea what you're talking about? Is he not a liable? Let me ask you a question. Is he not a liable sexual abuser?
I'm trying to ask you a question, please. One question.
Then answer mine. Then answer one of my questions. Is Donald Trump?
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Even though you didn't answer 8 other times when I asked the same question, but I'll ask another one.
Okay, and you're going to answer mine, right? You're going to answer mine?
As I've said from the beginning, if you answer my question, I will answer yours. Now,
go ahead.
Now I'm going to ask you 2 questions because the first one you still haven't answered.
No, you said 1. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'll do what I want, whether you like it or not. Okay, pal.
That's generally how the left works.
Okay, good. So be quiet now and let me ask the question. When Donald Trump
don't tell me to be quiet,
okay,
sir.
I'll tell you whatever I want, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. I'm going to ask the question again. Okay, tough guy. When Donald Trump said he didn't respect John McCain because he was captured, do you think that's hateful? Would you call that hateful? And my second question is Donald Trump a liable sexual abuser? Go ahead.
Firstly, John McCain is a watered-down Republican.
Didn't ask you what your opinions were about John McCain, and quite frankly, I could care less. That wasn't the question. You promised you would answer the question. I don't care about what your political opinions are about John McCain. That wasn't the question. Why is it you're struggling? This is now the 10th time I've asked the question. When he said he didn't respect John McCain because he was captured, is that hateful? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, well, you're a complete imbecile, but I'll ask the other question. It is, obviously, because you're crapping on all POWs, and you're a moron. We've already established that. But thank you at least for answering the question, as pathetic as you are. Is Donald Trump a liable sexual abuser? Yes or no? And then I'll answer one of your stupid questions. Is Donald Trump officially a liable sexual abuser? Yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, sir, guess what? Get the hell off my show. Here's the bottom line. It was proven in a court of law that Donald Trump is a liable sexual abuser. A jury of Donald Trump's peers found him liable for sexual abuse. If you say the earth is flat, that doesn't mean the earth is flat, the earth is round. You say no, which proves once again you're an imbecile and you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. He is a liable sexual abuser proven in a courtroom. So we've established that you're a complete imbecile, but go ahead and ask your stupid question, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, here's my stupid question.
Can't wait.
And you have so much power over your show, and you call me an imbecile.
Yeah, you are.
I swear to God,
You are.
you would never do that to my face. But here's my question.
Oh, I swear to God, I swear to God, if you came in studio, I swear to God, I'd call you an imbecile to your face. I swear to you, I would.
I'm
sir.
gonna put-
Okay,
hey, listen.
okay, listen.
No, I'm gonna-
Listen, I swear to God, sir. I swear to God, sir, I think you're all complete imbecile. I swear to God, I think you're all complete imbecile. So Donald Trump, not a liable sexual abuser. No, I swear to God, sir. I swear to God, sir. I'm a tough guy, sir. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying I don't respect John McCain because of his service, because he's a POW. I swear to God. Go ahead. Ask your stupid
Didn't
question.
say that.
Go ahead, sir. Ask your
say
stupid.
that.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here you
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Here you go.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
Did Joe
Okay.
Biden?
Did Joe Biden
and his wife? Listen. Did
Yeah,
Joe Biden
listen.
and his wife
Uh-huh.
promise that they would not, alleviate their son from?
I'll answer your stupid question. I know exactly where this imbecile is going with that. Joe Biden said 6 months ago he did not plan on pardoning his son, that he wouldn't pardon his son. Then not only Donald Trump won, but Kash Patel was appointed and will most likely be leading the FBI. In every interview Kash Patel has done, he said that he's going to go after Hunter Biden. So if that's what you want to hang on, and you think wait, let me ask this imbecile another question. Hey, bud, who won the 2020 election? Hey, let me speak in your terms. Sorry, I guess Kat got your tongue. Hey, sir. Hello, sir. Hey, sir. Who won the 2020 election? I'm speaking your language now, Mr. Grand Wizard. Who won the 2020 election?
China.
This guy is so unserious and he's so stupid. It's unbelievable. But I've kept him on way too long and I've wasted our airtime. Guy has an IQ of like 20. He really is so stupid. Are you capable of not answering? Hey, I potted you down, dumbass. Are you capable of not answering a straightforward question?
Here's my
Okay.
my
No.
question. I'm gonna give it to you.
Pot him down again. I'm asking the question, and China is not a part of this question. Who won the 2020 election? It's either Donald Trump or Joe Biden. It's a very hard question, I know, for you to answer, but I want you to answer it anyway, dumbass. Who won the 2020?
Come visit me, and I will explain
Come
to you.
visit me. Listen, sir, I don't want to go to your mobile home and visit you. Okay, go get a dentist and have a nice day. I'm done with this inbred MAGA imbecile. What a dumbass. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll take some more phone calls on the other side. Your thoughts on that phone call? I know many of you are going to have some thoughts on that. Number to call, 702-221-7283. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Pushing the Limits right here on KSHP.
Hey, everybody. Are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premier Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
ever dreamed of having your own radio show or a podcast, but just didn't think it was possible? Well, dreams can come true. Radio U. Radio U is a 5-day course that'll teach you how to acquire your dream show. We'll teach you how to host, how to write commercial, how to interview, how to market, how to write a contract, and most importantly, how to monetize your dream radio show. You'll learn from some of the best in the business with over 75 years in broadcast experience. You'll learn from people like me. And the best part? Every single student will be live on the radio as part of the class. Plus, one student from each class will get their very own radio show. You'll be live on the air right here in Las Vegas. Radio U. The 5-day course is being offered at $699. For more information, give Radio U a call. 702-763-5024. That's 702-763-5024. Or check them out at radioyou101.com.
All right, welcome back to this Pushing the Limits on a Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Check out my website, by the way, pushingthelimits.live. We sell merchandise up there. Accept donations, and, well, you know, don't I deserve it after dealing with some of the callers that I have to deal with on a regular basis? Most of you are great. Some of you are just out there. That last guy, oh boy, that was something else. But we're talking about a lot of different topics today. Obviously, we're talking about Pam Bondi this morning and her lack of answering questions. Nancy Mace today in that telework hearing asking people what's a man and what's a woman. Positive news with the ceasefire deal. Over 30 hostages appeared to be released, which is obviously really, really good news, and much, much more. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Darlene. Darlene, what's going on?
Hey, Brian. Brian, these people are exhausting me. I mean, it's so exhausting. But let me tell you about the guy that just called. I'm gonna try to stay calm today, y'all. Anyway, this is what I picture in my head for the doofus that was just on the phone. I can picture this old white man with a big-ass belly, 20 beers sitting on top of him, and dirty underwear, just like Trump, because he loves him so much. That's what I picture in my head.
That's a bad picture. It's a bad picture.
Now, let me tell, I got something to tell that man also, and I'm going to try to stay calm. Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what the version of hate is.
Yeah.
Brian, last night I spent an hour and a half on the internet. People, listen to this, guys. Whoopi Goldberg's house burned down. There was 2 or 3 of us that was like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
MAGA after MAGA after MAGA. Yeah. Oh, we are so happy. That's the best news we've heard all day.
Well, you know what, those people.
I don't interrupt too much.
No, that's okay, Darlene. You know, those people are despicable. Even when I said James Wood's house didn't burn down, he basically lied on CNN. But even when I thought his house burned down, and I'm not a James Woods fan by any stretch, but I felt horrible for him and his family, right? It's terrible. It shouldn't matter what side of the aisle you're on or whether you like or dislike a celebrity. Your house burned down. It's a tragedy, right? There's loss of life, and anybody that would celebrate anybody's home burning down is despicable. I don't know what other word to use. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Kathy. Kathy is next up on PTL. Hey, Kathy, what's going on?
Hey, Brian. What child? And I'm not calling you child. What a conversation you had with that idiot.
Yeah,
oh,
that was something else. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my point is this. I agree with you 110% about the Democrats. They are playing too much pussyfoot games with them.
Yep.
They need to go to the Republicans balls to the wall and call them out on their crap.
I agree. Like you have Pam Bondi who won't admit the 2020 election outcome, and you have a bunch of wussy Democrats up there playing softball, and I've had it.
You know, they should go, this is what they should do, because I did go on to a chat on the Bulwark that was yesterday with Roland Martin and other people. This is what the Democrats should do, even though they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Whenever they mess up, whenever they do some type of an idiotic passing of a bill, they should go on Fox News, go on any kind of news program, take the bill in their hand and say, this is what they voted on, and this is what you missed out on. For example, when Trump passed those tax cuts for the wealthy, the mortgage interest deduction was eliminated. That was eliminated for middle-class homeowners. You can no longer claim that deduction. Now, those tax cuts have expired, and that we know that Trump is going to reinstate them for his wealthy buddies.
You're right, and what we know is that there's going to be big tax breaks for the rich. We know that for sure because that's what he did in his first administration. So if you have a lot of money, you're going to be happy about that. But I think there are some people that have a lot of money, like the Mark Cubans of the world, that want it to be evened out a little bit. So I think there's two sides to that one, and obviously I'm on the side of not giving the biggest tax breaks for the richest people in this country. I've always felt that way. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you would like to be a part of the conversation. All right. Why don't we go to Evan? I think Evan is next up on PTL. Hey, Evan, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
I just want to say I'm all in on this crap about when they go low, we go high. I'm through with that crap.
As am I.
And I love Michelle.
We agree.
And I love Michelle Obama, and I'm happy she's boycotting the inauguration.
Yeah.
But for example, in North Carolina, where the judge lost by 700 some votes, the Republican, and now they're challenging 60,000 votes. How come the judge that won, the Democrat that won, isn't in return finding Republican areas and challenging those votes? Why do we sit back and let them pull this crap and just sit there and wring our hands?
I understand. I understand why you would say that. I've just had it. I've had it with one side of the aisle that seems to give in to the other side, and I've had it with these people that are going to be in his administration that are not answering direct questions. I mean,
oh God, that takes it.
Listen, I'm not a Brett Kavanaugh guy, but at least he answered questions, right? At least I give him credit for that. He denied what took place.
Lied.
He denied what took place. He may have lied, and he certainly lied about overturning Roe versus Wade, but at least the guy was answering questions. This woman, Pam Bondi, wouldn't even answer questions this morning. She tap danced all morning. She tap danced. It's a joke. And listen, the same thing happened yesterday with Pete Hegseth. So, it's... we might not like an answer, but at least answer the question. At least I'll have some respect for you. Doesn't mean we'll always have to agree. Answer the damn questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for these MAGA heads to explode when they see Michelle Obama boycotting the inauguration.
Well, I can tell you.
Bother me.
I can tell you what, Donald Trump doesn't care. Donald Trump doesn't want her there. I can tell you right now, the former President Barack Obama will be there, but I won't be watching. Thanks for the call. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Patrick. Patrick is next up on PTL. Hello, Patrick.
Hello, Brian. Man, hey, I've got to tell you, brother, that is a great looking shirt, man. Where did you find something like that?
Well, let me tell you something. I'll answer your question, but I'll start out by saying this. When I wake up in the morning, the first person that I want to impress is another MAGA buffoon that calls into this show that has an IQ of about 20. So if I'm not impressing you and you're not attracted to me, then I don't know if I can do this show anymore, Patrick. So thank you so much. Thank God.
Are you talking about when you wake up at your buddy's apartment complex?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't live in a buddy's apartment complex. That's a weird insult because it's not true. But if you're attracted to me and you like the shirt that I'm wearing, Patrick, then you made my year, buddy, because, the only person that I care about is you. Forget about all the attractive women on the universe. If MAGA Patrick approves my shirt, then I'm good, man. So do you have anything of substance you'd like to talk about today other than calling into a show, to a middle-aged white guy's show, and thinking about his appearance?
You're a crusty white guy.
Thank you.
You're a crusty middle-aged white guy.
So that's fine if you think that about me, but if you have anything that we've actually talked about today on the show and you can be on topic, we seem to have this issue with you every time. I know that the highlight of your day is trying to call into a radio show and try to insult me. I really feel sad for you. But we've been talking about a lot of serious issues on this show. The fires in California, for example. A lot of issues we've been talking about on this show today. Is there anything of substance you'd like to talk about? Or would you like to ask me if I can define what a man or a woman is? Can you please talk about something that people care about and stop wasting my time?
Yeah, I believe y'all had talked recently about the $25,000 home credit that Kamala was offering.
Okay, it's
first-time
Pamela.
home
Are you
buyers.
that stupid you can't pronounce her name right? Huh?
Well, the
Patrick?
problem that
Yes,
I saw,
Patrick,
the
go
problem
ahead.
that I saw with that $25,000 credit is people like you still wouldn't be able to afford a house even with
Okay,
$24,000.
so that's absolutely so first of all, Patrick, you again have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Another MAGA that's calling into this show that doesn't understand policy. Notice how he'll never talk about any of Donald Trump's policies when it comes to housing. You have no idea what you're talking about. This is for household incomes of people that are under $400,000 a year, and many of the people that desperately need it. It's a loan that would be getting paid back to the government over time, and it gives people a head start. So, Patrick, I'm not surprised you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Patrick, can you tell me, define what a man or a woman is? Can you tell me that? Patrick, are you a woman?
Point out here,
Patrick, are you a woman? Patrick, are you a woman?
People like you. would
Patrick,
still
I
not
like
be
your
able to
shirt.
buy.
Patrick, I like your shirt. Are you a woman? You want to make everything personal about me, and you don't want to talk about anything of substance. Patrick, are you a woman?
Brian, all you do is
Patrick, are you a
make
woman?
it personal.
All you do, the first thing you did calling into this show is talk about my shirt. That's the first thing you did. Now, I'm going to give you a tip, okay, jackass? Next time you call into the show, have something productive that you would like to talk about. Doesn't mean we have to agree. I disagree with people all the time. That's okay. Next time you call into the show, tell me something you disagree with me on, and we can have a pleasant conversation, so long as you don't do what a few callers ago told me to do, which is dictate what I do or don't do. So, Patrick, in closing, let's try to agree on something. Can we agree calling into a radio show and commenting on the host appearance probably isn't very productive? Can we agree that next time you call into the show, and I'll happily take your call, you will be willing to be on topic and we can discuss something that I said that you may agree or disagree with? Is that so hard to do? I'm asking you very nicely, Patrick. Would that be a difficult request? I'm asking you.
Oh, did you get your heart? Did you get
All
your
right.
feelings hurt?
Obviously. Okay, Patrick. Patrick's done. Don't call into the show anymore, Patrick. You're done. 702-221. I gave him a chance. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. At least MAGA Patrick likes my shirt. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Let's go to Kathy. Kathy's next. What's up, Kathy?
Hey, finally.
What's up, Kathy?
Anyway, as far as the fires go, what really irritates me is the fact that these people pay big taxes. And California's tax base takes care of a lot of the red welfare states that they're always crying about. I think Newsom and the mayors and everyone else in that state needs to do a mega campaign advertising how much they feed into the system, and that if the Republicans want to play this game of putting strings attached to give them disaster assistance, they need to be reminded that that money is from those constituents. It's just BS. And as far as Trump's cabinet picks, we're all in trouble.
Well, I agree.
None of these people.
I agree with you there. I think we are in a little bit of trouble. I think you can make the case for Marco Rubio, even though I'm not a big Marco Rubio guy. I don't think Marco Rubio is going to embarrass the country. And I thought his testimony today was decent. It was fine. I don't have any issues really with Marco Rubio. I have a lot of issues with some of the other picks. Thank you for the call, my dear. I appreciate you. A few more minutes with calls, then we got to take a break, and our next guest in studio is coming up. Let's go to Eddie. Eddie's next. What's up, Eddie? Hi, Eddie. Are you there? Eddie hung up the phone. Oh man, was he a MAGA? Of course he was. He hung up the phone. Maybe he had something nice to say about my shirt. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Julie. Julie is next on PTL. Hey Julie, what's going on?
Oh, isn't Eddie the guy from yesterday, the misogynist?
Yeah. We get those from time to time. Unfortunately.
Oh, Patrick and Eddie, those two don't have any sense in their heads.
No, they don't. But, like I said, when I wake up in the morning, I just pray to God that people like Patrick okay my T-shirt or whatever shirt I'm wearing. When I put on a shirt in the morning, the first person I'm thinking about is him.
Yeah. According to little comments on the screen, I guess that Mr. Patricia
is in love with you because of the way he calls in all the time.
Let me tell you something. I grow on these people like fungus. They listen every day. They call in every day. They tweet about me 20 times a day. They are literally obsessed with me, and I thank them because they're giving me added attention. Now, I don't need the attention like some other people do, particularly the person that is going to be the next commander-in-chief. But unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, they're obsessed with me. So, obviously I triggered them in some way or another.
After every time a MAGA comes on your show, it just seems like they have Donald Trump listening. That's the way they act like they're waiting for Donald Trump to listen. Well,
let me be clear. Let me be very clear with you. If Donald Trump is listening right now, I have a message for him. Donald, you could do whatever you want with me for 12 seconds and I'll take 130 grand. He could have his way with me for 12 seconds. That's fine. And I'll sign a non-disclosure, an NDA, whatever he wants. Give me 130 grand and we'll go out and we'll all have a party. All the including Patrick, and I'll buy this shirt just for him. Thank you for the comment there. Trump, if you're listening, I'll give you 13 seconds. Okay. I'll close my eyes and I'll just pray. I'll hold one of your Trump Bibles in my hand. 702-221-7283. Who are we going to next here? Let's go to Nikki. Nikki's next. What's up, Nikki?
Hey, so in all seriousness, I've never called into one of these shows before. Ooh. I've been watching you recently. So anyhow, this is my question.
Yes.
Of all of Trump's picks.
Yeah.
Will any of them, in your opinion, not be nominated?
Good question. I thought it was going to be Pete Hegseth. No, I think he's going to be nominated. He's already been. He's going to be pushed through, no question. I think the one person that I would have a lot of questions with is Tulsi Gabbard, based on the statement she's made about Assad, based on the fact that she won't answer the question whether she wants Ukraine to win the war. I would say Tulsi Gabbard's probably more in jeopardy at this point than anybody else. It would have been Pete Hegseth, but after the hearing yesterday, I actually think he's going to get in there, which is scary. But I would say Tulsi Gabbard.
Why do you think that?
Because the one Republican out there were a few, but the one female Republican out there, I'm forgetting her name, forgive me, who was on the fence about it. They had a talk before the hearing, and he said he would be okay with women serving on the battlefield, and that changed her mind. And I think there are a few other Republicans that were waiting for her response. So that's why I say that.
Is that the one from Arizona that became an independent?
I don't think so. That's not who I'm thinking of, and I'm forgetting her name at this time. Maybe somebody could help me with that one. But, yep, that's the best way I can answer that question, my dear. I am so glad you called in. We're running out of time here because I got to take a break. We're going to take a few more calls, but please call back, and we have a little bit more time. I want to get to a few more quick callers. Let's go to Jerry. Jerry's next on PTL. Hey, Jerry, what's going on, man?
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Good. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, I would have loved to have seen Jasmine Crockett take Nancy Mace up on her offer and go outside. I would have loved to have seen the video of that.
So I would have too, but I will say this. If Crockett shook her hand, she would be in an arm sling. So if they got into a 10-second physical altercation, I would say that Mace would probably be in the ICU for 3 months.
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
But what I want to talk about, may I change the subject for about 15 seconds?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do on your show, of course, but I would love to see a segment where you discuss North Carolina Senate Bill 382.
Well, I'll be honest.
None of the mainstream media is covering anything about this. I've only seen a couple of articles about it.
Here's what I would like you to do. Here's what I would like you to do. If you can do this for me, and I'm a man of my word, send me an email. My email is on the bottom of the screen. Send me an email.
Okay.
Because I don't like talking about things on this show that I am not familiar with, and I'm going to be honest with you. Just like I'm not familiar with what is in Nancy Mace's pants, I'm also not familiar with this bill. What an analogy that was. But please send me an email of the bill, and I will look into it for you. Let's go to Maggie. Maggie, what's going on?
Hey, Brian, are you there?
Yes, go right ahead, Maggie.
Hey, Brian, thanks for taking my call. I was one of the lucky ones to catch a little bit of the Capitol Hill today.
Mm-hmm.
which was great. I went from listening to Cypress Hill to watching Capitol Hill. What happened in my life?
Yeah.
That's fine. Honestly, there's a lot going on there. But first off, why don't you just start a bingo card right now?
Yeah.
Like, start it up right now, and you can already start Xing off who's not going to make it.
Wow.
Because it's just going that direction.
Well, Donald Trump's on my bingo card. I don't know if he's going to make it through his presidency, but we'll have to wait and see about that.
Rules, right?
Yeah.
Well, one can only hope. But then what are we going to do? We got the cat eater.
You got the you got the couch abuser. Yeah, I know. Mr. Eyeliner, JD Vance. Well, you know what? Look, we're going to get through it as a country. I wish that we can focus more on the issues. And by the way, Johnny Ernst was the congresswoman that I was thinking of earlier. I appreciate people on the YouTube chat sharing that with me. I appreciate your call. We'll take more phone calls tomorrow. I'm up against the clock here. I think maybe I have enough time for, what do you think, one or two more quick phone calls, and then we got to go to break and go to our guest. Let's go to Jack. Jack is next up on PTL. Hey, Jack, got about a minute for you, my friend. What's going on, man?
Hey, Brian. I just wanted to comment. I love your shirt, man. It reminds me of Nancy Mace's latest pap smear.
Oh,
and
that's awful.
And
that's awful.
I just want to you're calling for people to go low. I want to refer to legs up Pam Bondi, with her bleached blonde hair and the stretch marks around her mouth. I just want to emphasize that that's what we should refer to her as. It's just amazing. Dude, I really think that they signed like an agreement, like a pledge to not admit or say that he lost that election. Like I'm not kidding. I think they had to sign something because it's not just her. It's everybody that's ever been asked that question on that side.
Well, here's what I think
I'll let you go. I'll watch you comment. I know you got other people.
Here's what I think you should. I think you should ask Pam Bondi and Lauren Boebert if they want to go see Beetlejuice with you. That's what I think you should do. Did he go? Oh man, I wanted to get his reaction to that. All right, here's what I have to do. I have to take a break. We went a little long here this segment. Now I've talked about all sorts of different serious issues today and every day. The fires, the horrible fires in California. Obviously, I've talked about the hearings in D.C. And at times on this show, I do talk about pornography. I do talk about adult entertainment. And I talk about how there are ultra-religious people in this country that think it's an abomination. Well, the guy joining me next, his name is Joel Finks. He is the VIP marketing host at Spearmint Rhino, which is one of the most successful adult gentlemen's clubs in the entire country, not just in Las Vegas. I'm going to ask him about this industry. We have the AVN Awards that are coming up in Las Vegas next week, and there are a group of people that want to abolish strip clubs. So I definitely want to talk to him about that. And in times where we're stressed out as a country, right? We're divided. People need to go out and they need to have a good time, right? As long as it's legal. And I have never seen anything wrong with it. But there are a group of people that do. So we're going to talk about that with Joel when we come back. We'll take a quick break. And maybe take a few calls coming back. But we'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Pushing the Limits right here on KSHP.
Have you ever dreamed of having your own radio show or a podcast, but just didn't think it was possible? Well, dreams can come true. Radio U. Radio U is a 5-day course that'll teach you how to acquire your dream show. We'll teach you how to host, how to write commercial, how to interview, how to market, how to write a contract, and most importantly, how to monetize your dream radio show. You'll learn from some of the best in the business with over 75 years in broadcast experience. You'll learn from people like me. And the best part? Every single student will be live on the radio as part of the class. Plus, one student from each class will get their very own radio show. You'll be live on the air right here in Las Vegas. Radio U. The 5-day course is being offered at $699. For more information, give Radio U a call. 702-763-5024. That's 702-763-5024. Or check them out at RadioYOU101.com.
Hey, everybody. Are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premium Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
Who would have thought there'd be so many kids playing ice hockey in the desert? Jake Helps Hockey Foundation and the Las Vegas Ice Warriors, founded by Gina Yusufzai 8 years ago, made it possible for families who can't afford the equipment and fees. Donate today at www.hockeyforkids.org and help us continue making a difference. Join us in supporting Jake Helps Hockey Foundation and the Las Vegas Ice Warriors, where every kid gets a shot at the starting line. Just a reminder, our website is www.hockeyforkids.org.
It's time to wake up and win the weekend. You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JP the Catcher, giving you that grease. Sunday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time for the live action on Vegas Scoreboard Express on KSHP 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Dive into the game day with my in-depth analysis, expert predictions, and winning plays from the sharpest minds in sports betting. It's more than just placing bets. It's about securing wins. Head over to jbtheticket.com and be sure to tune in to KSHP this weekend from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time to ride the winning wave with VSX. Tune in and get your money back from the sports book. All money, all sports, no bull. Missed the live show? Subscribe to Vegas Scoreboard Express on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and wherever you enjoy your favorite podcast and radio listening.
At The Human Bean, our mission is to serve up specialty coffee and smiles with a bean on top. With a bean on top is more than just a delicious chocolate-covered espresso bean. It's our way of saying thank you and of seeking to make your day, one drink at a time. Have you had a bean on top moment today? The Human Bean, with 2 Las Vegas locations, 5602 West Charleston and Lindell, and 5265 Camino El Norte in Washburn.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. It is Pushing the Limits on a Wednesday. Man, this week, I don't know about you, this week is like flying by. Now, I've always been the person to say, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, they enjoy different things in life, right? Sometimes it's going to a hockey game, maybe a Vegas Golden Knights game. I do that a lot. Or it could be, you know, taking your dog, walk in the park. Some people like to go to gentlemen's clubs. I don't care what people do, so long as it's legal. And the guy joining us in studio right now, his name is Joel Finks. He helps run a very, very successful gentlemen's club in Las Vegas. One of the most successful clubs, I would say, in the country. Spearmint Rhino. He is the VIP marketing host, and Joel Finks joins us in studio. Joel, pleasure to see you here, my friend. How are you? Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you so much. It's great being here.
I think Joel's like, what am I getting myself into? He's screaming at his callers. What is going on here? So sorry about that. That's a normal everyday occurrence for me, by the way. Got to check my blood pressure.
No, it's okay. Well, before we begin, I want to give you a gift from our
director
of operations.
Well, you got some chips.
We got some chips for you.
Look at this. Wow. Spearmint Rhino chips. So could I just play these in a casino or Those are really nice of you. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
I appreciate that. And you use these in the club.
Use them in the club.
Oh, how cool is that? We're going to have a fun night.
Yeah.
That's really nice of you. Thank you, Joel.
Hey, you're welcome.
So like, I've always been pro do what you want to do in life. Do what makes you happy, right? And I've been in your club before, of course. People there are having a good time.
Right.
The women are making money. The bartenders are making money. The customers are usually always seem to have a smile on their face. Right. It's clean. It's legal. There's nothing illegal going on in your club. Okay, we're not talking about some club in the middle of, I don't know, Nowhereville, right? We're talking about a very established club. Do you think that adult clubs have that? Why do you think some clubs have that aura about them where people assume there's illegal stuff going on? Because I know it's not happening at Spearmint.
I think it's Vegas in general. People think it's a free for all here. It's actually controlled chaos. There are laws, a lot of things that are put in place. Everybody works in the industry, especially entertainers, anybody in the club business, casinos. We actually have a security card that we have to pass a background check, FBI. So they're pretty strict upon that. They're not going to let anybody just walk in and come to Vegas. You do have to get a health card. You do background checks, even if it's FBI scopes. So they're pretty strict on everything. If you have certain things that, casino or any establishment doesn't like, they're not going to hire you. They're say no.
Of course. Like, this is my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
There are a group of people out there that are very judgmental of others. Sometimes it's ultra religious people. And I've always said, believe in whatever you want to believe in, just don't tell me what to do. I feel like, and you can tell me if you agree or disagree, that there are a lot of evangelicals and there are some people that are extremely religious, forget about even political affiliation, that are very judgmental of your industry. Now, I think that's wrong, and I've always felt that's wrong. What would you say to those people?
Well, you're not supposed to judge, because the only one that judges us is the man above, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, I'm religious too. I don't put it out there, but I don't judge people. People come in here to have a good time. It is an entertainment capital of the world. So if people want to come here and go to a show, go to dinner, go to a gentleman's club, it's their personal obligation, whatever they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's for entertainment purposes. So, I think they kind of need to stay in their lane. I don't judge people, whatever religion they are. It's their choice and how they ever want to worship their God or wherever they want to go to their church. But, it's a huge debate, I guess, when it comes to those people and how they feel. But, to stop a business entirely, I think it's wrong, because there are a lot of people that have, I have a family. There are a lot of people there at Spirit Rhino have families, and they're successful people. That's what we do in our industry. Vegas is, you can't go anywhere in the world and be successful and raise a family in the entertainment business as such in Las Vegas.
Right.
So,
Well, here's another thing. I agree. Here's another thing I don't understand. If a woman or man, for that matter, wants to show off his goods, he's getting paid for it. People are willing to pay, and they're being entertained, and the dancer is willing to do that. Why do people look down on the dancer? Like, I don't understand that aspect of it. You should have the right to make money so long as it's legal, which clearly what you're doing is, and what these dancers do are completely 100% legal. I don't understand why people look down on that.
I don't know. I mean, people come here to go to shows, right? So you have topless shows, the showgirls. They go to school forever. We have dancers at Spirit Rhino. I mean, some of them have gotten engineering degrees, very smart, very educated entertainers. I call them entertainers because they're here to entertain.
Of course.
People's fantasies. They're not here to fulfill them. They're here
Right.
to entertain them.
Sure.
Totally different.
Sure.
But, they're very smart people. They're educated people, whether they go to college or they just get education where they, through their field of work. But, some of these people do it because it takes a lot of courage. I couldn't get on stage the way these entertainers do, but it takes a lot of courage for them to do it. And they do it because either sometimes they're fitness models and it pertains that their workout schedule and it pays their bills, or they go to college and it pays their college and pays their home. But
You would never say that any of these girls are being exploited in any way.
No.
They're not being forced to do anything that they don't want to do. There's plenty of security in your club.
Yeah.
There's cameras everywhere. I've seen some security guards that could snap me in half if I got out of line. Very professional. The women aren't pressuring you to do anything. They're friendly, which is their job. They want
Right.
your attention, but they're not. I've never been pressured by anybody. Like, people are just there to have a good time.
Yeah,
and the women
absolutely.
are going home with a lot of money. If they absolutely hated what they did, I would imagine they probably wouldn't do it. And that's just my take on the whole industry as a whole. Here's a controversial question. Well, maybe
Sure.
it's not that controversial. I don't know. Do you think prostitution, since it's legal 45 minutes from here in Pahrump, do you think that prostitution should be legal throughout the country in Las Vegas?
It's weird. Thinking about that question, my mom always said it should be legal because it is the oldest profession, right? So I think it should be controlled. It should be legal. It might be controversial, but it goes along anyway, and not just this state, but in other states. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, are you going to take food off somebody's table? Are you going to make that decision? I think control it and then make it good, and also maybe calm down some other bad things that go along with prostitution.
There'd be a lot of positives, right? So,
Yeah.
Joel, I think it should be like the way marijuana dispensaries are
Sure,
handled, meaning
absolutely.
have zoning.
Right.
Obviously, you don't want a brothel next to a school,
Right.
next to a library. Obviously, we wouldn't condone that, right? But there should be some zoning going on. Here's
Right.
the thing, right? First of all, it's safer for the customer.
True.
Absolutely safe. And it's much safer for the woman or man that's providing the service. Like in Pahrump, right? They have rules and regulations, right? There's testing going on. There's rules and stuff like that. There are so many women on the streets, whether they have pimps, it's so dangerous for both sides, right?
Mhm.
And that's not good for anybody. Why not do it the right way? Pay your taxes so the government's making money off of it. It's cleaner, it's safer. And I don't know, for somebody that doesn't maybe have a lot of experience, maybe that would be a situation where, okay, let's try this. I'll pay for the service and I don't have to be worried or scared. I just think there are far more positives and benefits to legalizing it than allowing what's going on, particularly here in Las Vegas, where you see girls direct to your room. We all know it's illegal, but we all
Right.
know what's going on there, right?
Yeah, whatever happens in the room happens in the room.
Right.
But I think making a step to make it legal, and that we have sheriff's cards, and anybody in the industry do background checks. So if these girls have done things in the past and make it wrong, then they can't get into the business. But that's another discussion that people have to do and
Right.
say. But I don't think the government's really be opposed, because they just want the money, right?
Yeah,
it's a
of course.
business,
Of course.
right? So
So the times I usually go to gentlemen's clubs
Right.
are usually bachelor parties. I had a bachelor party a few weeks ago. People from out of town where they just want to go out and have a good time. Okay, fine. Grab a drink, have fun with the guys. Okay. So give me a normal night in your club. Somebody wants to go. They want to bring their friends. They want to grab a couple drinks, maybe get a dance. Give me an idea of, like, for people that aren't in this industry, what will that cost you? What will you get for your money?
So, our cover with tax is about $53.
Mm-hmm.
So you walk in, that just gets you in. It's like going to a nightclub. Spirit Rhino has a different vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a gentleman's club. It's also that nightlife atmosphere. They have really good music. There's DJs. There's other rooms that fit people's personal preference. But you're going to walk in. We have VIPs that are going to take care of you. I mean, some of these guys have been doing it for 20 years of their life, right? We've been around for 25 years. We know what we're doing. We've won many awards. And one of the awards that I think it stands out is our service. We have great customer service. We're very professional. The staff there, the cocktail waitresses, the bartenders, the VIPos, we're there to serve you, and we're making sure you have a good time, and make sure you get matched up the right entertainer. Some guy might walk in and go, "Hey, I like a blonde. I like a brunette. I like this." Whatever race.
They're like a guy, middle-aged white dude wearing a shirt like this.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
exactly.
great. And
I don't blame them.
That shirt's going to stand out. You don't have to use a host. Girls going to flock to you. But, that's what we do. And you just have a good time. You sit at a table, have some drinks. We have cocktail waitresses. We have bartenders.
Mm-hmm.
So
A couple $100.
it all
Without going
depends.
crazy?
It all depends on
Guy
how
wants,
much you want to
guy
spend.
wants one drink and one dance, wants to hang out for an hour. What do you, couple $100, $100, $150, 200, 300?
It all depends. We have VIP
Yeah.
rooms.
Mhm.
We charge for that. They start off, 15, 30
Mm-hmm.
hour, and everything goes up in the price range.
Sure.
Drinks in Vegas are expensive regardless. So it's about $15 to $20 for a drink. I mean, when I go out, I used to go out, I buy like 5 drinks. That's a lot, right? I mean, everybody's going to buy 5 drinks. I don't think it's
What's
a lot.
the most expensive bottle that you've ever had anybody buy in your club?
Ooh.
You have Cristal?
I believe we do.
What does that run? 25 grand?
Yeah, it runs about that. I mean, it's everything, people come in to spend money. So it's a drop in the bucket when it comes to spending money, right? I mean, we have
Most money anybody spent in one night at your club?
about $100K.
100 grand.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So a personal friend of mine, I haven't talked to him in a little while, but he's a poker player. His name is Antonio Esfandiari.
Mhm.
Pretty popular poker player. He's sitting in a nightclub in Vegas. It wasn't a gentleman's club. I don't remember which club it was. This was years ago when Kobe, sadly, I wish he was still here. They're sitting side table, and they're ordering. They're trying to outdo each other, and they spent like 300 or 400 grand ordering bottles of Cristal.
Right.
You ever have that where people are just trying to outdo their friends?
It
Yeah.
happens all the time. You see it all the time, whether venues you're in here in
Yeah.
Las Vegas. Nightclubs, that's why they kind of celebrate with the sparklers.
Right.
We're more discreet, but yeah, you are people trying to outdo themselves, as it is Vegas. Everybody likes to show who the big boy on the block is.
Are any of those big boys politicians? I know you can't name names, and I'm not asking you to. Have you had any very recognizable, prominent politicians in your club?
Well, I can't really tell you who comes in.
I'm not asking you to tell me who,
but there are people of every...
people that I would know.
I haven't personally seen a politician in the nightclub myself.
Matt Gaetz. No, I'm just kidding. I would never say that. That's
no hunters, no anybody like that, but no politicians that I see.
But big name celebrities.
There's celebrities.
Yeah.
There's businessmen in there. There's celebrities. We're very discreet. You've been in there, right? We showed you around.
Sure. A lot of private rooms, and absolutely.
And how our
you could just rent out a room there, and and with your buddies and
Mm-hmm.
have a good time. It's beautiful. I've seen it before.
you.
If you're just joining us, his name is Joel Finks, Experiment Rhino, VIP marketing host, talking a little bit, about the industry. So you have the AVN Awards coming up, which is the Adult Entertainment
Right.
Awards. I would imagine it's going to be you guys are always busy there, particularly on the weekends. You guys are packed. It's like a big party. But I would imagine AVN week, you guys are even going to be more busy. There's going to be a lot of people in there.
Yeah, it all depends on the weekend. We do. This is the time of year that Vegas is busy in general. Last Friday night, I was in there and it was packed. We had probably over 1,200 people in there.
1,200 people. That's insane. How many girls do you have in there on a night like that?
So on the weekend nights is obviously the busiest nights, about 300 to 400 girls.
300 to 400. Holy
from all over the world too.
So explain. Wow. Okay. So explain to me this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know a little bit about the industry,
All right.
but the girls have to pay a fee to work, right?
Yes.
There's a nightly fee.
Mhm.
It could be anywhere between 100, 200 or higher, right?
Mhm.
So you guys are charging all those girls, but they're fine doing it because they're making boatloads of money.
Yeah.
I've heard like some of these women could make upwards of 20, 30, 40, 50 grand in one night. It's rare, but it does happen, right?
It happens. They can make,
That's
some
so
of these girls can
crazy.
make, 15, 20,000.
In just one night.
Just one night.
Yeah.
Depends on the customer. These are the girls that are entertainers and the professionals. So they know to talk. They know what the customer wants. And, sometimes the customers are generous and they'll just throw money at the girls. If you get a celebrity, they're going to throw, $10,000 up in the air at the girls. They're going to do that. A lot of celebrities do that. Like professional football players or any athlete, they throw the money up at the girl.
When we talk celebrities, I know you said you really don't get politicians in there as a whole, but would you say when it comes to celebrities, most of them are not necessarily actors, they're sports athletes? Is that fair?
Yeah, athletes like to play, right? They beat up their bodies. They like to have a good time. So I think coming into Spirit Rhino, we have a sense of, secrecy with us. You're not going to see any movie star or professional athlete go to the front door. We have doors where they come in, very discreet. We have rooms they can rent out. You're not even notice.
Yeah.
I work there and I don't even know who's coming in because there's so many different access points.
Right, of course.
That we check
out.
out.
But you get all sorts of different people.
We get everybody.
My opinion, and you can tell me if you disagree, I think I don't speak for women, but I would think that there's a lot of married women out there that would much rather have their husband go with the boys to the strip club and at a worst case scenario have a dance than cheat on your wife, right? It's a way to go out with the boys, have a little fun, have a few drinks. Okay, big deal. You see some women naked, but I wouldn't consider that cheating, okay?
Right.
Cheating is when you're actually doing something sexually, just at least in my opinion.
Right.
Right. They're not allowed to kiss either, right? There's no kissing or any of that stuff, which they shouldn't be allowed to do, by the way.
Right.
Right. I just think that's go out with the boys, have a good time. You're not cheating on your wife.
Right.
You're having a good time.
Well, people forget entertainers have their family. These are moms.
Yeah. A lot of them have husbands and boyfriends.
Moms.
Yeah.
They're not just people that come in and just show up and they have names. Like I get to know who they are. I get to ask them about their kids, their families,
Right.
how's everything going. Some of them are real estate on the side. They own their own businesses on the side. They're fitness models, or they're going to school. So they're real people.
OnlyFans models, stuff like that. Do you get some of those?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's in there. I know that COVID changed the game, how strip clubs are.
Yeah, that was a weird time, wasn't it? Oh my God.
Yeah. I wasn't living
Everybody
in Vegas.
wearing masks walking in there. That was weird. That was
But they had a
weird.
rule, right? That's some rule. I wasn't living in Vegas at the time, but I would call and ask my friends. There was like rules that the girls had to stand a certain way from the customer, and it would have been interesting to see. I just wasn't in Vegas at that time, thank God.
See, there's some people on the chat that are saying that's cheating. I respectfully disagree. I think if you walk into a club with your boys or a bachelor party or something and you're married and you happen to be in a club where women are dancing, and I'm sorry, I just don't think that's cheating. Like if I'm with a girl. First of all, there have been a couple of people I had been with where I took them to Chippendales.
Right.
And then afterwards we went to a gentleman's club like yours. I mean, it's a fun night. Negotiate with your wife. I don't know. I'm not a therapist here. Hey, honey, I want to go to the strip club with you, which I think most married couples would find that to be a positive thing, a turn on. I'll take you to Chippendales. Let's negotiate.
Right.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
I mean, we have married couples that come in all the time.
Right.
And we have bachelorette parties that come in. We have bachelor parties. We have everybody comes in for all occasions. I mean, I was talking to a hotel manager just this past weekend, right? Just talking to her, passing out my card. And she goes, oh, last time I went there, I met my husband. She came in for our beer and our famous chicken fingers, and she actually met her husband. He wasn't working there. He was there.
A love story at the strip club.
Right,
I love it.
Right. It was hilarious. And I said, why don't you come back in and get that magic back? Because our chicken fingers are great. But
Your food there is very good.
Yeah, it is. Surprisingly enough. People don't realize that we have a menu there. I didn't realize we had food there until 10, 15 years ago, and I had that steak sandwich. It's amazing steak
Isn't
sandwich.
that a single guy's dream to be eating some chicken fingers and a beer and getting a lap dance? I don't know. I don't know.
It is.
Yeah. It is, right? So we only got a couple more minutes left here, but
Sure.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think separates your club from all the other clubs here in town?
Right off the bat, it's our service. We take care of people. I mean, we're very attentive. Our whole wait staff, the bartenders, everybody's very personable. Our hosts are there to not only making sure the girls are protected, but also make their clients have a good time. We're there for that. Another thing is that, Rhino does stand out. We've been around for 25 years. That everything else comes and goes. You'll see new strip clubs come, new nightclubs come, but Rhino's always been there. We've expanded. We are 37,000 square feet. When I first got to Vegas, Rhino in 2001, Spirit Rhino was a part of a shopping center. Now it's the whole shopping center is taken over. That whole back alley, it wasn't even lit up. Now it's all lit up. It's great. We have VIP entrances. I mean, if you just stand around, even at our VIP entrance or the front door, you're going to see so many famous come in because that's just the name of the game. It's Spearmint Rhino. It's world renowned. It's very famous around the world. If you're going to come to Las Vegas, everybody wants to go to the famous Spearmint Rhino.
I've heard some people call it Spearmint Rhinoceros. I said, no, it's Spearmint Rhino.
Right.
That's what it's called. That's what it's called.
Locals call it Rhino. Everybody knows. It's like, it's hard to say, without saying Spearmint. You always say Rhino. Everybody used to throw their hand up and do the Rhino.
And Joel, you can't smoke there, right?
There's no smoking.
Smoke-free environment, which I actually appreciate. It makes it cleaner. You don't have that stench. There's beautiful furniture everywhere, and it's just a great place to kick back and relax, man.
Yeah, we do have hookah. You can do hookahs
Love
there.
hookah. Hookah's great.
Yeah. I mean, we have great burgers. We have a burger special right now. It's $5. So you get fries. You get Anheuser-Busch or a soda if you don't drink. But it's a great burger. I mean, for $5, you can't beat it.
$5 for a burger and a soda? What do you do that during the day?
Every day, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Wow, that's a great
I'm
deal.
sorry, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
6
My
p.m.
apologies.
All right.
But it's a great deal. I mean, you get a great view, right?
$5 for a burger and a drink.
Think about it. You go to Carl's Jr.
In one of the nicest strip clubs in the country.
You go to Carl's Jr. It's $15.
Yeah,
You go to
what's
our
up with
place-
that, man?
Yeah, you go to our place, you get a view
$5, and it's much better quality food. We're not
It
talking
is.
about cheap. We're talking about a good burger.
and a great view.
Yeah. How awesome is that?
It
Well,
is.
I can't wait to come back and check it out.
Yeah.
And certainly next week when we have the Adult Entertainment Awards, I will be bringing some ladies to the club because I know they're going to enjoy checking it out. Just quickly for locals, what deals do we have for locals that visit the club?
With locals, we take care of all the locals. There's always deals going on. Also, too, anybody can call me. I don't know if you
Give out the number. I have it too. Is it 702-539-0403, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So any local wants a call, we take care of them. I can
good.
set it up for them. We do provide anybody who's listening, who's coming out of town, please call the number. I'll take care of you. We do provide a free limo service all over the strip, making you look like a VIP, rolling in like a rock star. But locals, we have everything going on. We have bottle specials of $100 bottle specials going from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then, that's pretty much takes care of the locals. I mean, that's pretty much the cheapest. Well, it is the cheapest bottle I know on the strip right now.
Yeah.
Strip's getting expensive.
Yeah.
I believe that our alcohol prices are pretty reasonable. that favor locals.
Well, you definitely can't beat $5 for a burger and a beverage to go with
Absolutely.
it. So you have a lot of local deals going. Give Joel a call if you want to get taken care of. 702-539-0403. He will not be offering lap dances, but he can offer you other options if you want. But maybe if you wear this shirt, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I'll wear your shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Joel, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
here.
very much.
That wasn't too tough, right? I mean,
No.
I give my callers a tough time from time to time, but speaking of which, I did get into a space with George Santos. I was supposed to play it today. I'm going to play it tomorrow. It's like a 15-minute conversation I had with George Santos. We are going to play it on the show tomorrow. If George Santos ever comes to Las Vegas, I will take him to Spearmint Rhino. I don't know if he'll enjoy the dancers as much as my shirt, but I'll ask him about that. But Joel, thank you so much for being here. You guys are great over there at Spearmint. I can't wait. Can't wait to go back. That's Joel. Thanks everybody. Give him a call. 702-539-0403. Tomorrow on the program, the latest in these hearings in D.C. I will be playing you my conversation. It wasn't really an interview. It was a conversation with George Santos. We will play for you tomorrow as well. We're going to take a 22-hour break. We will see you back tomorrow. Please check out my new website, pushingthelimits.live. Again, that's pushingthelimits.live. And of course, the official gaming bar of the PTL radio show, Jackson's Bar and Grill, located at Flamingo and Jones, home of the $500 free slot machine, free slot pass the puck contest. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have you ever dreamed of having your own radio show or a podcast, but just didn't think it was possible? Well, dreams can come true. Radio U. Radio U is a 5-day course that'll teach you how to acquire your dream show. We'll teach you how to host, how to write commercial, how to interview, how to market, how to write a contract, and most importantly, how to monetize your dream radio show. You'll learn from some of the best in the business with over 75 years in broadcast experience. You'll learn from people like me. And the best part? Every single student will be live on the radio as part of the class. Plus, one student from each